Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1, bringing you the latest news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin in English. I'm Arpad Szőci. Thanks for joining us. The new headquarters of the Constitutional Protection Office was inaugurated in the capital's 11th district. Up to now, the office worked out of 4 different buildings spread across the city. Now everything has been moved to the new building. The Hungarian Prime Minister said at the opening ceremony that Hungary is continuously strengthening, and that creates more interest in the country from foreign powers, something that the Hungarian Secret Service must also consider.
Organizational units of the Constitution Protection Office have moved to one central place from different buildings spread throughout Budapest. The Counterterrorism Information and Crime Analysis Center, as well as the Governmental Data Center, have been placed in an area the size of 5 soccer fields, with the whole project costing around 81 million euros. Zoltán Kis, Director General of the Constitution Protection Office, has said at the building's opening ceremony that the property meets all the requirements that are based on today's challenges, as well as on Hungarian and NATO regulations. The government decided in May 2016 to ensure a single location for Hungary's security organizations. The sovereignty of Hungary shall be defended, and that can be guaranteed by constitutional organizations and institutions. That is why these organizations need to be protected, said Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. The PM also talked about the challenges of modern times, like cyber defense, new intelligence tools, as well as social media, which, as he said, is uncontrolled and difficult to overview. The Hungarian state has managed to ensure the adequate conditions for the operation of crucial organizations, emphasized the Prime Minister. Viktor Orbán also stated that Hungary is becoming stronger, and this way the interest towards the country also increases. Hungary has greater and greater influence in Central Europe as well as in the European Union, and this has consequences also for rival states, the head of government added, emphasizing that Hungary needs to know about the increased interest and the need to control it, and if needed to ward it off.
2/3 of Hungarians agree that the government should support persecuted Christians in the Middle East with considerable funding. That comes from a study from the think tank Nézőpont Institute in Budapest. Those Christians are also being aided by the Hungary Helps program. The state secretary responsible for that said that this humanitarian help is a national issue which all parties support. Furthermore, Tristan Azbey pointed out that Hungary's view on this is that you don't bring the problem home, you bring the aid over there where it's needed.
The government has spent more than 33 million euros on these kinds of supports of the Hungary Helps program, which is, by the way, more efficient than economical, as if we would have spent this amount on the support of migration, on reception conditions or on integration. The amount of money from which a house can be built for a migrant family in Europe is enough for the reconstruction of 5 houses in the Middle East and 10 houses in Africa.
The first European representation of the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states has been established in Budapest. Besides Turkey, member countries include Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. Hungary's Foreign Affairs and Trade Ministers said that the council opening its office in the Hungarian capital is another sign that Hungarians have always been working on cooperation between the East and the West. And Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán also received the visiting delegation at his office. Talks included strengthening ties culturally and building on historical events, which would then bring about mutual advantageous cooperation. The PM also pointed out that the opening of this office by the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states is a milestone in the relationship between the Turkic world and the European Union. And Azerbaijan's foreign minister gave a Jubilee medal to Hungary's foreign affairs and trade minister on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of Azerbaijan diplomatic service. Péter Szijjártó said that Hungarian and Azeri leaders can always be honest with each other, which makes cooperation more effective. He added that the Hungarian government is committed to continuing cooperation because it is in Hungary's interest to cultivate close ties with the region.
Currently, when you deal, in case you deal with international politics, you see that many times we lack this mutual respect. And instead of respect, we are confronted with lecturing, we are confronted with frustration, and double standards. And these are all phenomena which we never had in our relationship.
Flood prevention exercises were carried out in eastern Hungary by a multinational force consisting of Hungarian, Slovakian, Ukrainian, and Romanian troops. It all happened on the Tisza River, which runs along or through all four nations. This military unit regularly carries out such exercises, and it looks like Austria might join in the near future.
The staged exercises that took place near the town of Sándorfalva in Csongrád County were part of a scenario in which the level of the Tisza River had risen to dangerous levels because of non-stop rain. And since nearby farmland was also in danger of being flooded, authorities ordered the evacuation of the locals living around there. A multinational technical battalion arrived with military, tracked amphibious vehicles in order to transfer the locals to safety. Even agricultural equipment was removed from the danger zone. While the waterlogged dams were increasingly having a difficult time holding back the water, the disaster recovery unit decided that some controlled flooding would reduce pressure on a dam, and so they opened one using explosives. According to the commander of the unit that carried out the exercise, the 5th István Bocskai Sharpshooting Regiment planned it to mimic real conditions that soldiers face. These can occur in disaster situations in the flood season. It's happened numerous times the past few decades that emergency reservoirs were opened at the Körös and Tisza rivers. So these are realistic situations which soldiers prepare for, said the brigade's commander. That's also the reason this multinational technical regiment of more than 700 people was established 17 years ago. The idea is that soldiers from participating nations should help each other in times of flooding and other disasters. The next step is for us to truly practice working closer together with civil authorities. And why is that important? Everyone should understand how water works and disaster management. And not just here in Hungary, but also in Slovakia, Romania, as well as in Ukraine, said the unit's deputy commander. Seeing this successful multinational military operation in action, Austria has now indicated that it would also like to join in. Therefore, perhaps next year, disaster management exercises might also extend to the Austrian side of the Danube River.
2 Hungarian productions have been nominated by the International Emmy Awards. Marina Guerra is nominated for Best Actress for the leading role in Eternal Winter, which takes place at the end of the Second World War. The other film is Trezor, which is about a convicted bank robber who cracks a government safe just before the Hungarian Revolution, and what he finds is a revelation. The award ceremony will be held on November 25th in New York. It's the first time that Hungarian productions have ever been nominated for the International Emmy Awards. Heritage that bonds us, the remembrance of St. Ladislaus in Central Europe, is the title of the newly opened exhibition in Debrecen. The pictures, completed by the common project of the Híradó Association and the county government of Szabolcs-Szatmár-Bereg, show settlements, churches, and other heritage products built from altogether 47 locations associated with the life of the Hungarian Knight King, the patron saint of patriots, called László in Hungarian. The traveling exhibition will remain in Debrecen for 2 weeks. A bicycle school roadshow, an exhibition of uniquely equipped alternatives as well as hybrid and electric vehicles, veteran bicycles, and the so-called double hoop bicycle contest of Kecskemét. That and more await visitors at European Mobility Week in Kecskemét. Organizers prepared events for each day during the whole week for everyone, irrespective of age. The main event will be the car-free day on Sunday. And before we go, if you're a soccer fan, then you might want to know that Ferencváros of Budapest, after 15 years not being on the international stage, is back. It was able to make a 1-1 draw against Espanyol of Barcelona. So not bad, Ferencváros. And thanks for watching. We'll be back again the next night live right after the news in Hungarian at 11 p.m. local time. You can also catch us in repeats and online. Please stay tuned now, if you can, for our new shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and minden jót.